Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So you've already seen the picture of what we're doing today. So we're going to do a little moon for the mobile. I've got my Red Heart Super Saver. The color is pale yellow. Here we go. So the color is pale yellow and it calls for a 5.5 hook, but I'm going to use a 5 hook for it. So let's get started. You need the regular tools. I don't think I should have to tell you what tools you need. I am going to make this beginner friendly, I hope. It's pretty easy, and it turns out so super cute. So we're going to learn how to make stars as well. So to repeat, I'm using a number 5 hook. My camera doesn't want to focus. There we go. So to start, we're going to chain 4. So this is going to be a fake magic ring. If you prefer to do it in a magic ring to start, then by all means you can do it in a magic ring. This is going to be a beginner friendly video, so I'm going to give them an easy way to do it instead of a magic ring. Let me change my lighting. Instead of a magic ring, I'm going to give them an easier way to do it. So in the first chain that you made, which is this one right here, that guy right there, you're going to put 11 double crochets into this very first hole. So to do it easy, just hold on to this knot of your slip knot. Hold on to that. It'll make it easy. It will start to open as you do. So you should have a total of 12 because you did the first chain 4, so that's going to count as a stitch. So you have a total of 12 double crochets. You can pull your tail and then you're just going to slip stitch, not here into this chain. I want you to go into that first stitch. You're going to slip stitch into that guy. You have 12 stitches to start. You're going to chain 2 and you're going to put 2 double crochets in every stitch around for a total of 24 stitches. and you're going to slip stitch into the top of that post. There's a stitch right there, so you're going to slip stitch right into that guy. I feel like I'm constantly adjusting my light because the sun keeps going in and out. Oh, I'm slip stitching. So from here you're going to chain 2, and you're going to do the same thing. You're going to put 2 double crochets in each stitch around for a total of 36 stitches. I've lost track. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. and just slip stitch to the top of that chain. So we're going to do chain 2, and we're going to do the exact same thing. So when you fold this in half, it's going to look like a crescent moon. So it should be getting pretty out of shape. So I tried to find the easiest way to do this for a beginner, as opposed to them trying to follow sequences and stuff, which we will get into later. But right now, it's probably overwhelming. So I tried to make this pattern as easy peasy as possible. I don't think you can get any more easier than 2 double crochets up in every row for 4 rows. This will be our final row. It's just for a mobile, baby mobile, so it doesn't have to be big. You pick up some stragglers like I just did, just give a little tug, it should come free on its own. Hand knit. Oh, my dog just has to clean himself every video. Harley, that's a disgusting noise. Stop doing it. He has a sore foot and he's been going at it. He goes to the vets in a few days. They're gonna have to knock him out to see what's going on. He's a great big boxer, so he actually almost attacked me the other night. I was crocheting and a piece of yarn. I was pulling out yarn from my skein and a piece of yarn flopped down on his foot. He was right beside me, and he just right at me. I reached for the yarn to move it, and that's when he did that, and I was like, wow, buddy, I am not touching your foot. So my husband had to tell the vet that, by the way, his appointment at 3 o'clock, this is what happened the other night. And they said, well, we better make the appointment early because we're going to have to knock him out or muzzle him or something. He's not a violent dog. He is such the biggest baby. But winters in Canada can be pretty brutal. So I don't know if he got a piece of salt up there or just somehow hurt his foot, you know, running trails or just getting walked outside when it's really cold. And you know, we tend not to go for long walks with him because we don't want his feet to hurt, but something's happened. So you can see how your work is kind of getting all disheveled. That is a good thing. You may notice a little jump in the video where my camera has shut off and I've had to restart it, but just know I don't crochet ahead of you. I'm in the exact same spot. As soon as I hear the beep, I stop crocheting. So you haven't missed anything. I haven't skipped ahead. Just so you know. My beginner videos, I tend not to speed anything up or skip ahead or got a straggler in there somewhere. Just about done. So if you are done, you're ahead of me. You can fasten off at this point and fold your work in half, or fold it in half first, just to see if it has the right kind of arch that you want for the moon shape, and then you can fasten off if you're satisfied with it. If you're not satisfied with it and you need to do another row, then by all means knock your socks off. Oops. So when you fold it, it should be a nice crescent moon shape, just like that. But if you want it more defined, then you can do one more row. I just think then it might come too close together to be a crescent moon shape. But I'm going to leave this here. I'm going to fasten off. So just chain 1 and cut your yarn, and then just pull your yarn through, and then just give that a pull, tighten. So we're folding this in half. So this guy, he doesn't need to be buried or anything. I like to weave them in because I don't like this piece, this little hump that I get around the edge. And I'm going to be crocheting this shut, so I'm just going to kind of tuck him in a little bit, but you don't have to. You can just, if you're folding this in half, I just like to make sure that lump gets pulled down a little bit because I do not like it there. And then to keep my middle, as you want that closed, so pull tight on your tail that you started your middle circle with. Pull that as tight as you can to close up that center hole, and then just kind of weave your work in around the hole. And that should just, I mean, it should stay closed anyway. It's just getting folded in half and put on a mobile, but I'm very anal about weaving my stuff in. So you can just snip those short just so they're not in the way, but you don't need to snip them that much. So fold your lovely piece in half, and that's your moon shape. So you could tie a slip knot. Oh gosh, sorry. You can make a slip knot and then take him off. So make sure you're stitch to stitch. Get your work where you want it, all lined up. Stick your needle in, stick your hook in. Pull this guy through and then do a single crochet. And then, holy crap, I think snow just fell off a roof somewhere. That was loud. So in the same hole, just to extra secure it, I'm going to do a second single crochet. And now I'm just going to go stitch for stitch all the way around. Well, not all the way around yet, because we got to stuff it. You don't have to stuff it. It's hanging from a mobile. If you're using some good yarn, like I'm using a 7-ounce weight, it's pretty bulky, so when you fold something in half, it's pretty nice and squishy. But I'm stuffing all the stuff hanging from the mobile, so I'm going to stuff this as well, but you don't have to. You'll see when you start sewing it together, you can make the call whether you like it just puffy like that, or whether you want to stuff it, or whether you don't want to stuff it. It's completely up to you. Just know I am stuffing mine, and then I'm going to make some hearts. So it'll be this video, same video. We're going to make some hearts to hang off the bottom of the moon because it's super cute. Well, you've seen the picture. You've seen the picture of it already, so it is super, super cute. And actually, believe it or not, that was my husband's idea. I was making the moon. Sorry, I wasn't even on camera. I was making the moon. Let's tilt you a bit. And he says, "Oh, you should make some hearts. You should make some stars and hang it from the bottom of the moon." And I was like, "Wow, that's kind of a great idea for a dude." So it was his idea. So I cannot take credit for that. And so I did it, and it was super, super cute. And I was like, that is such a fabulous idea. Which is just shocking for, no offense, guys, but I mean, most of you don't really care about crochet, so, and he certainly doesn't care about crochet. But I was just showing him what I was making for the mobile. I'm like, oh, I'm going to do a moon because I already did a sun, so I'm going to do a moon, and then I want to do a star. And that's when he said, hey, you should make some stars to hang off the bottom of the moon. So that's where that came from. So you're going to notice that as you crochet, it's going to get archier and archier and archier. You can just finger block that. It should just stay in you just shouldn't have to water block it. And blocking for the beginners is just shaping. So depending on what you're making, what work you're doing, some people will put their work in water, let it get nice and soaking wet. They'll pull it out, they'll shape it however they want it, and they'll just let it dry. That way, that's blocking. Some other people will, again, depending on what you've made, some other people will just spray it with water, and you can block it that way, or you can take an iron to it. And then finger blocking is just when you just shape it with your fingers dry, because like this moon, it doesn't really matter. But at this point, so I've kind of 3/4 of the way around. I got a little bit to do, but I'm gonna stuff mine. So I'm just gonna stuff it with some polyfill. You can get a 16-ounce bag at Walmart for $5. I live in Canada, so that's Canadian dollars. And we're just gonna, I'm not gonna stuff, oh, I mean, it's just hanging from a mobile. I'm not gonna stuff a whole lot, but it does look better, in my opinion, if it's stuffed a little bit. So I done one that's not stuffed, and I figure if I'm going to go through all the work of sewing it together, then I'm going to put some stuffing in it. And it defines the shape more, I think. Again, that's just my opinion. So I haven't put that much in, but I am going to start to sew it up a little bit more. Sew it. Crochet it up a little bit more, trying to stick with a stitch to stitch idea, just so I don't have any bunches. That's why I'm going stitch to stitch, and I'm not just sticking it anywhere, because at some point you're gonna have bunching if you don't go stitch to stitch. And I'm sure, you know, you didn't put all this work into it to have it not look good at the end. And if you've got the bunching, then it is not going to look good. So every once in a while, just pull it tight. And we're going to move this stuffing around too after. So I have no bunching, which means that I've gone, I can't seem to find the stitch right this second. That means I've gone stitch to stitch because I have absolutely no bunching, so I've done everything right. So at this point I can just fasten off. So we're got a little wonky shape going on, so I'm just gonna squish some stuff around. So I gotta get, this is where I ended, so I gotta get some stuffing down into that corner. as well to make it look right. Lots of ways you can do it to move it around. And then you can just finger block it, shape it a little bit. So that's not a bad shape. Let's Heidi hoe her little pieces. You know, you could do the same shape for a rainbow too if you really wanted to find arch for making a rainbow. I have a rainbow video, but it's not a defined arch like this, only because rainbows don't have that kind of an arch. But if you were doing, like, you know, pot of gold at the end of the rainbow type of thing, you can put 2 little pots of gold. If you know, if you're an avid crocheter, and you know how to do that. Or maybe there's videos out there with little shamrocks or pots of gold or what have you, but you could use this pattern for that too, because I mean that wouldn't be a bad rainbow arch. And it's easy, it's beginner friendly, so it's just 2 double crochets and 4 rows all the way around. It's a decent size, fits in my hand. So go find your different colors to whatever colors you want your stars to be, and I'll meet you back here to do that. Alright guys, let's get started on our stars. So chain, whoops, how did I just tighten that? Oh, there. Chain 4, slip stitch into that first chain that you did for a wee tiny little circle. Chain 3, you're gonna put 2 double crochets into that circle, and with the first chain that you did, that should be 3 stitches. Chain 2, we're gonna do that 4 more times. So 3 double crochets. Chain 2, that's your repeat. 3 double crochets, chain 2. So you want 5 big spaces. And one more time. And you can slip stitch to the top of that first chain, because this first chain counts as a stitch. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 big spaces. You are going to chain 6 from here. Alrighty, so we're going to work down the chain now. So the second spot from your hook, so count your bumps, 2 bumps down, you're going to single crochet, next you're going to half double crochet, in the next one you're going to double crochet, in the next one you're going to triple crochet, and you're going to do it another triple in the last stitch that you have. So let me say again, you started down the chain with a single crochet, a half double crochet, a double crochet, and 2 triples to finish. Now you're going to slip stitch right into that chain 2 space, right into that great big space. You're going to slip stitch. And then, hold on, let me get my balls all together. And then you're going to immediately chain 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And in that second chain from the hook, you're going to single crochet. You're going to half double crochet in the next stitch. You're going to double crochet into the next stitch. Then you're going to triple crochet into the next stitch. And you're going to triple crochet into the last stitch. And you're going to slip stitch right into that chain 2 space. And chain 6. And in the second chain down, you're going to single crochet. Next, you're going to half double crochet. Next stitch, you're going to double crochet. The next stitch, you're going to triple crochet. And one more triple in the very last stitch. And you're going to slip stitch right into that big open space, keeping everything nice and tight. And you're going to chain 6. Second stitch down, you're going to single crochet. The next stitch, you're going to half double crochet. The next stitch, you're going to double crochet. Then you're going to triple crochet into the next stitch. And then you're going to triple crochet into the final stitch. Then you're going to slip stitch right into that big space. Pull tight, chain 6, this is our last one. So you're going to single crochet in the second stitch down. Whoa, almost lost it. In the next stitch, you're going to half double crochet. The next stitch, you're going to double crochet. Then the next one, you're going to triple crochet. And another triple into the last stitch. And you are going to chain or slip stitch into that very last chain 2 space. You're going to chain 1 and fasten off. Pull tight. Now this you may have to water block. But you might just have to spray it as opposed to soaking it. You can do it either way. But yeah, you might have to water block. But for the video, I'm just going to finger block it. So keep this strand, but you're going to hide this guy. So this is star number 1, and I'll walk you through the second star. Shove him anywhere. Again, it's just hanging on a mobile. It's not going to come undone or anything. So you don't have to be too secure in your weaving process. So I don't want my stars to hang funny, so I am, however, going to thread my needle, and then I'm just gonna kind of go up the back like that, so it's hanging that way. Make sure that it's hanging in the right direction, so you don't want an upside down star or anything. So that would not be good. So you can do however you want to do to have your stars hanging in a certain way. I'm just going to go right up the back. If you're superstitious, you're just going to have to be careful on how your star hangs. I am not superstitious, so I don't really believe in that stuff. So you just poke that through wherever on your, I'm just going to poke it through one of the chains on the bottom. And then I'm just going to tie a knot. So you can change the height. You can make this as high as you want or as low as you want, or just tie a tight knot so that it's not really that visible. And then just snip off as close as you can to the knot. That guy right there. So yeah, you'll probably have to water block that that guy right there. So let's do another one. I'll do this color. I feel if you hang any more than 2 stars off your moon, it might be a little overwhelming. So this is just a multicolor, so it might change somewhere. I don't know. It might not. I might get all orange out of it. So chain 4. This is thicker stuff to work with, so it's going to be a lot easier. So slip stitch right into that first chain. Make your little tiny ring. Chain 3. And then right inside your ring, you're going to put 2 double crochets. There's 1. No. There's 2. I'm just going to fold this tail over and hold it down kind of out of the way. So you have 3, just like before, because you did that chain. So you're going to chain 2. I'm going to do this 4 more times. So 3 double crochets. Chain 2. Three double crochets. If you're working ahead of me, just make sure that you have 5 big chain 2 spaces. And you have to end with a chain 2. One more time. Just pull your stuff over to make it all fit in there. And 3. So slip stitch to the top of that first chain because it is considered a stitch. Oh, sorry, did I chain 2? No, I did not. Chain 2. I just finished saying end with the chain 2. Now you can slip stitch to the top of that first stitch. That gives you that extra space. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spaces for your star. Chain 6. And in the second chain down, you're going to single crochet. The next chain, you're going to half double crochet. The next one, you're going to double crochet. The next one, you're going to triple crochet. And another triple in the last stitch. And then you're going to slip stitch right into that great big space. Let's try that again. Now hold it tight when you do that. Chain 6 automatically. 3, 4. And in the second stitch down, you're going to single crochet. Next one, you're going to half double crochet. And if you do need to know what all these are, I'm trying to go slow to show you, but I do have a video showing you all these stitches. In the next stitch is a double crochet. Next stitch is going to be a triple. And last stitch is going to be another triple. And you're going to slip stitch as tight as you can into that space. Chain 6. And the second stitch down, oops, let's go into the right spot. You're going to single crochet. Get some yarn out. You are going to half double crochet if I can. Half double crochet the next stitch. Double crochet into the next stitch. Last 2 stitches are going to be triples in each. Be sure to keep your tension. And you're going to slip stitch right into the next chain 2 space. And you're going to chain 6. Second chain down, you're going to single crochet. Then you're going to half double crochet. Then you're going to double crochet. And the last 2 stitches you're going to do a triple crochet into each stitch. And you're going to slip stitch, keeping the tension, into that big chain 2 space. Chain 6. Second row down, you're going to single crochet, and you're going to half double crochet. Then you're going to double crochet, and you're going to triple crochet in the last 2. And you are going to slip stitch into that last space keeping everything tight. You're going to chain 1 and fasten off. Pull it tight. And star number 2. Again, you're going to have to finger block. So I'm just going to hide this guy. Weave him in. He's not going anywhere, but I'm going to weave him in anyway. Somebody needs to see that. So try to stick with your rule of 3, which is, for the beginners, going in 3 different directions. So if it does start to unravel, one of the directions is going to stop it from coming apart altogether. I'll push him down a little bit. So I will be doing a bigger star. I'm just going to close that circle a little bit. So I'm going to be doing a bigger star for the mobile. And it won't be the same as this star. It will be completely different, and it'll be stuffed. And then at the end of all this mobile making stuff, I'll show you the outcome of the mobile. So I don't want to weave him in too far. Let's weave him up now. I want him to be kind of come out the top. And then I'm just gonna stick them on here. The more you pull, the smaller this center hole is going to be. So I'm just going to tie a couple of little knots, some little tight knots. And then snip it off. As close to the knot as I can. And there we go. So we can just spray this with water. We want them to be held down. You can just spray them with water, and then just finger block them with water blocking. If that makes any sense. But anyway, there's our moon all done with our stars. And you know what would be cute you could do too is maybe put a little face on it like the man in the moon. I think that would be cute. Anyway, thanks for joining me, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you in the next video.